Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
I can hear myself.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning and it is December 10th, 2019.
And we hear ourselves talking to each other.
My gosh, yes.
Well,
hey,
I'm just talking to myself, actually.
Am I? Am I just talking to myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard.
Sure you are.
Yeah. Oh, look at the voice that you hear right now is Bob Plass, and there I am on the screen, right? And the man sitting next to me that for years you never saw is my trusty desk. No, that's true. You were behind that cabinet, the turret forever.
That was a tough thing to maintain. People walked up to me.
Hi, Wilson.
Yeah, really. I didn't know that was you back there. And
They knew you were on. They knew there was a voice on the program. They didn't think it was my conscience or God. But you were.
Some people did.
Oh, they did. I'm sure.
well, but it was actually kind of cool to hide back there, and now I can't do that. I gotta have the little fence like Wilson.
Yeah. Well, now you're right here. You're practically. I think, is this a smaller table or something?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's so.
But you've been here
cozy.
before, Bob.
No, I know it, but no. I think for some reason it feels like
It is more cozy, Bob.
it's cozy.
Yes.
We're like on a date here, you and I.
It's awfully early in the morning for a date, dating. Yeah,
Hey,
so
wow,
let's
it's
not go
Tuesday.
there.
It's Westfield on Weekends show, and I've got former president of Westfield on Weekends and all-around community volunteer, trusty, dusty, musty, crusty, lusty, and well-modulated sidekick.
Hey,
J.
thank you
Pagliuca.
for helping out with the tree lighting over the weekend. What a great night that was.
Yeah.
Saturday night on the green here in Westfield. Even with the snow and everything on the green, we still had a great parade. The kids had a ball. There's probably 1,500, 2,000 people out there, and just doing a rough estimate counting. And of course,
I'm glad you counted because I couldn't. I had no. Usually you don't have a snowy field to look out at, and people are on the field or on the mound, as I call it, at the
mound.
At the
grassy area.
the grassy knoll.
That's it.
We're changing the idea of the grassy knoll is happy and everything, and that grassy knoll was filled with snow last week, and
But
so we weren't.
Now it's just like your schoolyard when you were a kid. It's all trampled down now.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
it was fun. It was a good night.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I want to introduce the Duke of the December Dials over there. You are a Duke this month.
I'm a Duke this month?
Yeah. Do you want to be a Duke this month?
I think Kenny will come in and call me a dink or something.
Oh,
Duke,
the dink. The
Duke
dink
of
of December. No, you're a Duke as far as I'm concerned. And you know what? Both of you were responsible for our December Fest. Westfield.
I wasn't responsible.
No.
I didn't do it.
No.
It wasn't our fault. Nobody saw us do anything.
It was the Westfield on Weekends board and volunteers of all the committees that put together all of the great events for December Fest this weekend, and last weekend as well. We've consolidated over 2 weekends as far as WOW events are concerned, but there's so many great happenings in the city. But Peter and Jay particularly add magic to our events. And Jay lights this stage like nobody's business. You got some new lights that felt like we were in some kind of musical in the center of Kentucky during the summertime, and with the way
you were baking under the lights.
Oh, it was well.
Actually, you wiped out. I think you did some wash of the stage at the very end, and Kenny tried to shoot the Christmas tree, and he got washed out by it. He's looking for video to actually get the tree lighting up.
Oh, that's right. It's exactly right. And speaking of that voice there, Peter Coles volunteered his time with great Kenny Stomsky from Community Radio here, and they took pictures for all of the events this weekend, and they are up at westfieldonweekends.com under the title Media. So if you go to westfieldonweekends.com and you go to the media, what do you call that? An icon or what? The click
tab.
thing? The tab. You go to the media tab, and there you're going to see pictures of what you missed, and they're really great. But also, Peter magically made the Park Square Pavilion so seasonal.
That's Jay.
Yeah.
Was that Jay?
No.
No, wait a minute. Who's responsible for that red and green inside of the pavilion?
Oh, that's me. No big deal.
What do you mean, no big
looks
deal?
kind of cool. Oh, that looks kind of cool. I noticed it this morning. In fact, I drove around the green twice just to see it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really nice. Pete was able to find a few little uplights and put them in.
Oh, those are what those are called, uplights?
Okay,
Well, I converted some regular lights to uplights, so.
That's what we're calling them.
Yeah.
Okay.
They make specialized ones, but they're expensive.
Are they? Oh my God! Are they on a timer? Or are they
Not
on? Not yet. So,
Bob, I think you gave me your coffee. Ooh.
oh, really?
Yes.
I have.
Oh my God!
I'll,
yes.
I'll come
Original.
change
all
out
right.
with
All
you.
right. Okay. Got. Well,
Now we're
geez.
going to argue about coffees for a moment.
No. What you've
So
done?
where we were-
You've caffeinated me.
Yeah.
You've caffeinated me.
Oh, good.
Oh, God.
This is just what we need.
Oh yeah. Peter's going to come in, and we're going to do an exchange of coffee. I promise. I didn't. Did I? Oh my! I might have put some sugar in here.
Oh, Peter's sweet enough.
No, it's sweet and low or something. Do you want to take Dr. Kevin Coughlin's coffee, and then we'll have to lie to him and pretend
Tell
to pawn it off?
It's
Yeah.
the cream that gets me.
Yeah. Well, this is like when I was a waiter and somebody, was a really crusty customer.
You
And-
mean like me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they come in and they order either like coffee, and you bring it over to them, and they ask afterward, "Are you sure that's decaffeinated? Are you sure?" So on the second go round, there are some waiters, not me, but there were some waiters
course not.
who told me that I should pour regular coffee into the cup of the complainer or the curmudgeon around the coffee
Double
at the
caffeine.
table. Yes, yeah.
Never, ever, ever annoy your waiter or waitress. Never. No. They're
Could end
there
badly.
to serve you.
Never.
They're
No,
there to serve you. They're
Peter,
the best
did
they
you
can.
put sugar or something in this?
Here we go.
I don't know.
This
I think
is going
it's-
to be a
I think
good.
Oh, it
got
already.
sugar.
Oh, it already has it in it. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why it tasted was like, ew.
Oh, that's what happened. Well, so now Dr. Kevin Coughlin will be in later, and he will see if we can pawn off the coffee that I spit in over here on the side here. But, yeah, and at any rate.
You know he listens in the morning.
Oh gosh, I know. Hey,
So, Bob, you're wearing a sparkly shirt because you wore the wrong color again.
Yeah. By the way, we're seeing through you today.
There's a lot of blue there.
For those of you who are watching on channel,
am I going to be like headless?
No, you're not. I can do that if you want me to.
we can do that.
Oh, well, wait a minute. So I've got to explain about this. I would not have worn this, but it was going to be for shopping online.
You're sparkly.
Yeah.
I like that,
actually, it's
actually.
kind of like sparkling, right? Look at this. Isn't this great?
Bob, you love the TV, don't you?
Look at this. It looks like I
Sparkly.
it looks like I bought this specially for Christmas. People are going to think I'm wearing gold lame or something. Look at that.
Oh, now we're all washing out here. Now we're just.
Oh my God! Now this
floating
is
head.
it. This
Okay.
is.
See, this is the type of thing that people do the first time they get these toys in the production room.
Oh, that's exactly right. If
I got to
you-
do it on the fly because everybody just walks in with what they walk in with.
Yeah, you're going to have to go online at westfieldtv.org if you're just listening on the radio. Or you could go to Channel 15 if you're in the area on TV to see my sparkling shirt or my sweater. And that you really can't tell the color. It's a beautiful blue. But I got a story about this a little later. So shall I take it off, Peter?
Yes, Bob.
All right, I'm taking off my sweater, everyone.
Dun,
Bob,
dun,
Bob,
dun,
Bob, Bob,
dun,
Bob,
Wait,
dun,
go
dun,
I
off
dun,
can't
camera.
take off my
Bob,
sweater.
Go off
Bob.
camera.
Ba-dum,
There's
ba-dum,
there's a
ba-dum.
reason for. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got it.
It's like the kid that can't get the bottom of the zipper undone.
Well, that's
We have a situation.
yeah. You'll hear about that
Oh,
story.
no, that was
in,
the
in,
bell.
in, a, in a few minutes.
Oh, but
all
wait,
right.
there's
Now I look like I'm not been to the gym in months or years.
I have a special this week, Bob.
Oh my gosh.
You like that, Bob?
I do. You know, that was a huge hit back in the day when I was, I was in my 20s or 30s. And this is David Rose, the stripper.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Jay will never know
this
because he
was
never
on the-
puts on his headphones.
top 10 for weeks and weeks and weeks.
You know, there's just certain things that come up that I don't know what. I have got nothing to say, and that's not like me.
Yes, you're exactly. I was explaining to someone what this program was this week, and it might have been.
We're never sure. what
No,
this
I
program
think
is.
it might have been you, Duke of the Dials over there.
Yes.
I was explaining to you what our program was about, and I was saying our program is more entertainment than informative. Would you call it that?
It's a little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both.
You're a morning show.
I am typically a morning
You're
show.
a morning drive show. That's what morning drive does. Entertainment, a little bit of entertainment,
Yeah.
a little bit of information, And usually makes you go, wow, what did they just say?
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
Only we're not off color. I don't think we're
You're
off color.
provocative.
Well, you were off color a minute ago as you were blending in with the back. Oh, different.
Oh, that was my floating
you're
head.
different.
My
Jay really
floating
needs to
head.
put on his headphones to follow along with what's going on around here. I swear.
Hey, Peter, tell everybody how they can watch or listen to this
All right, so
program.
we have live. You can watch on Channel 15 Westfield, Channel 15 Southwick.
Oh, we're on Southwick now.
Yes.
Right, I love it over there.
You can watch on westfieldtv.org and click on the live stream.
Right.
You can listen on WSKB.org. I heard they replaced the computer, so it might actually be a little bit better now.
Ah, wonderful.
And 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Uh-huh. And that goes for a 20-mile radius, right?
Around
20, that.
20, 30, yeah.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you can watch us on YouTube. If you look for WSKB Community Radio on YouTube, you can find all of our videos for the past, I don't know, about 2 years now.
Uh-huh.
We've been doing them on YouTube.
Right. You can watch my hair get falling out and turning
for
white.
cripe's
Yes.
sakes.
No, it's true.
Oh, for cripe's
Yeah. Well,
so that's
you know.
other ways you can watch us. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and this is produced by I was trying to think about it. I was going to say it on the stage
I've been
the
getting
other
a lot
night.
of grief because it's not an official call sign by the FCC. It's just our acronym,
And what is
Westfield Community Programming Channel.
that? Oh, so WCPC is just
An acronym, yes.
An acronym.
Yes.
Okay. Community
Westfield Community
Public
Programming Channel.
Programming Channel.
Yes.
Yeah, I was at home trying to figure out what that last letter was the other night, and I got community programming. And then I said, is it CPS or CPB
C.
broadcasting? It's CPC, which I kind of like. It has a nice ring to it, right,
Yes.
Jay?
I like Westfield TV, but that's just me.
Westfield TV. Uh-huh.
Especially because in order to get to Westfield TV, you type in Westfield TV. It's easier that
I
way.
got it. So, because how would you get to us if you didn't know we were here? How do you...
I don't. You can Google and you can find out an awful lot if you look up Westfield Community
Well,
Programming.
you know
Yes,
how-
but for instance, I tell my friends, and we're traveling. Let's say we go out to Kansas, and I say, "Hey, you want to listen to me on the radio, or watch this stuff? Go and Google." And then I leave, and they say, "What was that he told us? How would?" And the wife says, "Go on Google and put it in." And what would you put in to come to us?
Let me pose this question, though.
Yeah.
You've just been out in, where were you, Kansas somewhere?
Yeah,
Right? And
yeah.
you just told someone that you can listen to us on wherever you
Mm-hmm.
said. What makes you think when you leave, they're even going to think twice about it?
Hey, Bob, why don't we make you up some business cards that have your show title on it?
See, now I like that.
That's
You have
a-
a
With
little
all the
business
website
card to hand
information.
out.
That's a really good idea, Peter Coles. Yes, I carry. Do you? Let's just do a thing of our wallets. Take out.
Find me. There you
Oh,
go.
look. Okay, we're going to talk. Look at that. How nice that is. Okay, so here's
I'll
my.
take myself out so you can see all the stuff in Bob's wallet.
Oh,
Take
And
note,
what does
everybody.
it say?
No.
What does it say? All it says, it's got the Gaslight Entertainment logo.
Yes.
And it just says WestfieldConcerts.com.
So easy to remember.
Everybody knows what that is.
WestfieldConcerts.com.
Well, no, they don't. But
All right. So now, when I look in I'm talking to somebody and they say, "You have a pen? I'll write down how to reach me or whatever." Or you give me your number and I'll write it down. And so I'm going to look for something in my wallet. So
What
I looked
makes
the
you
other
think
days.
I'm
What do I?
gonna-
Yeah.
Never mind.
I have Jack's Barbershop loyalty card. Yeah. There it is, right here. Look at it.
and with all the hair you've got, you've had the card for 4 years. And
Yeah,
it hasn't
that-
been filled out yet.
Not yet. I'm still on number one. Still on number one. All right. I have this Pumpkin Fest card from 2018, 2 years ago. And it's got Lucille Nason, the wonderful Lucille Nason's name, and my name. So I usually, please forgive me, Lucille and Danny, I scratch out Lucille's name. And I
cards,
use
Bob.
this. Okay. So I write that. And then I've got this. Can you read what this is? Okay. Read what I wrote there on the side of that.
Glasses on.
Okay.
To read the
Then
scribbles.
I met one of my students from like 18 years ago. She was with her
Megan.
daughter.
Okay, so you put somebody's email on here.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Maura O'Neill, but now I put it in something, and it's what do you call that when it does like that?
Smudge.
It's smudge. So I'm going to look at this in a year,
smudge.
and I go, who the heck is Maura O'Neill? All right. So then, look, I have 2 good RX cards. Do you know what these things are?
You know what this is? This is really slow news day. He's going through his wallet and talking about what he's finding in his wallet.
I can't believe
true?
this. All right, I saw the TV commercial where the woman comes in with her kid to go to the pharmacy, and she doesn't have enough money, and she's distraught. And the pharmacist, you know, the one I'm talking about, and she walks away, and the pharmacist says, "Hey, wait a minute.
Have you ever heard of Good RX?
Yeah, Good RX. It's a prescription drug savings card, apparently, and you give them this.
Apparently, you don't use it.
I've
much.
never used it. I have 2 of them. Here, I'll present it to you. Go ahead. There, you can save some money on drugs. In the
Great. Okay. Yeah. Let's not go there.
All right. So look at this now.
George Carlin used to have a routine about that. You know, his drugs are on every street corner, and if you think about it, there's always a drugstore. And then you look at them, and they advertise it. You know, open all night.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Does this?
We deliver.
Does
drugs.
this actually
you
work?
Can't get away from drugs.
No. Does this actually work? Will I get a cheaper price if I present this card? And then am I going to be bombarded with all kinds of stuff, or do I have to go online and
you
sign
found
up?
the secret. Yeah. It's all it is a way to get your personal information.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, probably.
No, it's
I don't know.
not.
Oh, no.
How do I use this card? This free card is ready to use. Mm-hmm. It gathers prices, coupons, and save. Wait, I shouldn't be advertising this, but it is. You know, it's a cool little thing.
Yeah. Well, go and buy to your heart's
Now,
content.
wait a minute.
What?
You've got 2 different cards here.
Well, they have
and all
different
the numbers are the same. Oh no. Okay, member ID.
A member ID is different.
Yeah.
I have no idea where I got that. I assume I must have gotten it
Is
at a
there
pharmacy.
something else we want to talk about this
No,
morning?
wait a minute. What is this M Life Sapphire?
That means
What's
you
that
go
mean?
to the casino too much.
Oh, I've never used this in my life. I don't know how
do
that
you
got
have
in
an
there.
life card?
Well, we went there one night. I don't know.
Well,
Somebody
now you
gave me
know.
that. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
In case I go there. Then I've got Jason Poland, that my colleagues. I've got 2 Jason Poland cards.
Hey, I got to make a note.
Yeah.
Jason Poland is I guess the new me over at Westfield on Weekends.
He's a
Producing all of
great
the shows.
Yes,
and stuff over
he's
Westfield
really helping
Weekends.
out.
And he's really, as I emailed him the other day, he has brought some control to the chaos for our tree lighting. And you know, and it's kind of crazy with all the people that you have out there, and
Yes, exactly.
but it was well done. And he and Kenny stayed afterwards and helped me strike the.
Do you
lighting
remember
of the
who
A's.
came as well? I carried a bag down there, Jay.
Yes, you always carry bags, extra bags.
They're right under my eyes.
You carry extra baggage. Yes.
All right, let's
boy.
finish the search
Thank
of
you.
my wallet.
Thank you, Bob.
I have
$6.20 at WSKB Westfield.
$25 off
That's the
at
hint that it's
Macy's.
late. We don't care, Bob.
25% off, 15% off at Macy's.
Should I
Then
just play the music and
my
like,
my
fade 'em out?
Medicare card and then my here's my health care proxy. Do you have one of these in your this is important for you to have. I, Robert Plass, have appointed James L. Homan as my health care agent to make health care decisions for me if I am unable to do so. I have that
Hey,
in
Jay,
my
put
wallet.
on your headphones for a minute.
Yes.
This is what I'm going to do.
All right. Very important.
Yes.
Hold on.
All right. Well,
So
I've got my
how many people
Costco
go
card,
through-
my
Oh, my
AutoZone
God,
card, my
who the
Kohl's
hell? Yeah,
card,
there we go.
and my AARP membership. My
got more?
AARP membership. Yes. Yeah.
But people go through and clean out their wallets about once every 10 years. This is Bob's day.
Yeah. No.
I do it once every other month.
Do I need 2 sapphire cards from the casino?
I got a sapphire joke, but I won't go there.
Oh, okay. But, okay. So, Jay, WestfieldConcerts.com. This is a great way, a great segue into your telling us what is happening at Westfield Concerts in January. These could make great Christmas gifts, incidentally. You know.
Well, the first, our next concert over at the Women's Club here in town is a set of concerts. It's going to be January 10th, 11th, and 12th. On the 10th, we have Kick, an In Excess tribute band.
Buying tickets for that one.
They are phenomenal.
In Excess, what kind of band is In
It's
Excess?
an 80s band, 80s music.
Like
Late
disco,
80s.
Not disco. It's before. It's
No,
after
it's
disco.
it's rock
after
and
disco.
roll.
It's rock and roll. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't
we
know the In Excess.
I'm not a disco fan, but on the other hand, it still gets people up dancing. But In Excess Kick will be there on Friday. James Montgomery, great blues.
Oh, my gosh.
From, classic James Montgomery.
I used to run the concerts in Springfield years ago, 1978, and James Montgomery was one of the stars back then.
I
at my
first
concerts.
met him at the Shabu Inn down at Willimantic, Connecticut, which was a classic place for concerts in the 70s.
Yeah, Shabu was the big place.
Yeah, and people tell me I had a great time. And then there was
Use that
They
drug
had a
prescription card to
Yeah.
get
They
some
had a
drugs for
pickup
yourself.
band called the Shabu All-Stars, right? They're still around.
Shabu All Stars.
They're still around.
Yeah, that. In fact, so many people have been through that band. Matt Guitar Murphy from the Blues Brothers, Blue Lou, Lou Marini was also in that for a while, and of course those were great Blues Brothers fans. So yeah, great blues. That's going to be on Saturday. January 11th. And then on Sunday, we have the smooth cabaret voice of Porter Carroll Jr. Now, if you don't know Porter Carroll Jr., he was actually better known as a percussionist for the Hall & Oates band back in the 70s.
Oh, my gosh, my favorite band of all time.
And then he and his partner formed Atlantic Star, which was
I remember
had
this.
a handful of hits.
Yeah.
But now he's off on his own, doing some, and just he's a smooth crooner. Just go out to westfieldconcerts.com, click on that show, and there's a little video give you a taste of what.
Would it
what
be?
you're in
Would he
for.
be sort of like Kenny Rankin, like folk, jazz, pop? Does he cross all genres? Country?
Go to westfieldconcerts.com and you can find.
I will. I'm going to go and
And
listen.
by the way, there is a deal right now too.
Yeah,
if
tell
you
me.
Go out there you can pick 4 shows, any 4 shows, and I think we have at least 12 coming up between January and May. Pick any 4 of the shows for just $79, and that's a value of way over $110. So
Mike,
you can
you know-
you can save some. You can save some.
You know what? Do you have to pick the shows as you do it, or is it just 4?
It's 4 shows. We ask that you pick them so that we don't overbook. It's just give us an idea of where you want to go. If you want to change them at the last minute, you can change them.
So this would be a great. You've just given me a couple of gift ideas. This is perfect for my sister and my brother-in-law. I want them to get out more. This is a way. This is exactly what I need.
That's why we wanted to do this in the wintertime, because it's like we've got great music, great entertainment all summer long, and even into the fall here in Westfield. Come November, they roll up the sidewalks. Nobody comes out anymore.
Yeah.
So that's what really was the start of this whole idea. So every month. 1 weekend a month from January through May, we've got a great set of concerts coming up over at the Women's Club. It'll be a lot of
Wonderful,
fun.
wonderful. Look at this, 6:24 in the morning. It's 40 degrees. It's going to go down to 35. There's going to be some spotty rain today, I guess, or showers.
just icky.
It's spotty.
I don't like rain in the wintertime. Once it snows,
yeah. No,
right? It snowed.
It's
Once
exactly-
it snows, it's got to snow until May, right? Then once it starts raining, let it keep raining. But some days snows.
April
some
is
days
when we
rains.
rain. We rain in April.
I rain every day.
You rain every day because you were right beside me, and here I am. That makes me the king of the world.
So, wait a minute. If I rain, how are you the king?
Oh, that's true. Well, let's.
I'm just gonna run two,
we're not
you know
gonna
what,
go
Bob?
there.
I'm going to run 2 songs in a row to catch us up.
Oh, really? Are you going to do
I'm doing
that?
a double play.
Okay, so let me tell you, this is really wonderful. I want you to do the 6:15 song, which is from our Wisconsin music director. This is a classic.
Love this song.
Yeah, and it's funny because if we didn't have it as the background music in a famous cartoon, it could be played all year as a jazz song because
It's a classic jazz song.
It's classic jazz, and it should be played all year. The Vince Guaraldi Trio, of course.
I used it for the Munchkin run at the Run Stanley.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, it's a really great song. It is Linus and Lucy from Charlie Brown.
Lighting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, December 10th,
Do you like the new cross
2019.
promo?
Michael Buster McMahon. He's a hoot. And
I love
that's
that.
so 80s. I'm not the boss of you.
He said, I want a cross promo, and I'm like, all right, we'll record it after your show tomorrow. And that was just off the top of his head.
Oh, he's so great. He's a playwright as well, isn't he?
Yes.
He does a lot of things. And it is fun. It's
He's currently working on his first musical with Aaron Fay of Maxtone.
really.
And it's a whole bunch of his short plays, and they've stitched them together.
Yeah.
And it's called Can't You Bury These Tales?
Can't you bury these tales?
Yes.
How clever is that? Well, you tell Michael McMahon that I'm available for playing something like the innkeeper, the old innkeeper that comes in and
He says
sings.
it's going to win the Tony in 2025.
Oh,
Well, I'd be glad to help him. You know,
Bob, you've been wanting to get on Broadway. Tell James he's got to pull out his dancing shoes.
we're going to put him back on Broadway again.
So they've written almost 80 or 90% of the songs for it already.
We tell him when next time you see him that I love to have dinner with him because I can help him that way. Michael Rowe, who is the accompanist for Canoe the Musical, you've heard of that? Canoe the Musical?
Yes, I've seen it.
Yes, you've seen it, and I had a lot to do. Well, I wrote the damn thing, only because I
would say you've had a lot to do.
Yeah, really.
I'd suggest that everybody goes out and sees it, but I'm not the boss of you.
Yeah, and you know how strange this is. I wrote it because I wanted to do a go back on stage in a way, and I wanted it to be a love story. So
Bob, when did you ever want to go back on stage?
Oh God! Right after doing
this, okay.
this show, I said I got to get back on. Somebody's got to give me a script so I don't go off script and say something wrong. You know. So
Bob.
yeah.
See this thing right
Yeah,
here?
what is that?
That's your incredibly detailed outline that you hand us every Tuesday morning. Right? And it's right down to the minute. What do we do at 6:03?
Yeah,
What do we do at 6:10?
right.
Well, by 6:12, it's you might as well throw it away because we don't even follow
That's
it
true.
anymore.
Have we talked about online shopping do's and don'ts?
Was that 6:12?
That was at 6:15. Right after 6:15, we were supposed to talk about shopping tips. Well, we're 20
Off
minutes
script.
late on that
Okay.
one. Stay tuned, Dave. You'll know that we don't have anything else to talk about when we talk about online shopping.
No,
tips.
we knew that when you pulled your wallet out and started cleaning it out.
Hey, I found a lovely. This is a funny story. I've had this check for maybe 7-8 weeks, and I thought it was Betty Fallhaber wrote a check, and she gave it to me, and she said, "Give it to Jay Pagluka." Somewhere in the
You
discussion,
found it when you're cleaning out your wallet?
yeah,
He did,
yeah. Jay Pagluka.
and I'm ridiculing him for cleaning out his wallet.
It's right. You never would have got that check, though. And you never would have gotten it. Would have sat in there. So Jay Pagluka, for all this time, Betty gave me this check, and she said, "Give it to Jay Pagluka." Somehow or other, in my mind, that got confused. And I was on the house tour. We have the house tour this weekend. We'll talk about it in a sec. But last night we had a party for the homeowners, and so Betty was there, and I said, you know, because I had looked in my wallet yesterday, and I found this check, and I said, "Betty, I forgot to give JPEG Luca, I know you gave me money or I've got to give you a check from JPEG Luca because he bought a ticket to the house tour. She said, no, JPEG Luca bought a ticket to the house tour. I said, yeah, I have a check in the thing. And it turns out it was in reverse, that she had written the check for you to help pay for the equipment that you lost back in September.
Well, I'll have to reach out and thank her.
Yeah.
To those listening, and I got to thank everybody for the support. And I got some great donations, and it helped. It helped to replace the critical stuff that I needed to get back.
Yeah, as everyone knows, we right after the ghost tour, someone went in there and took the equipment.
Well, they
took a lot of the
permanently borrowed.
Permanently borrowed the
some
equipment.
of the lighting gear.
Yeah. So we got we're on a GoFundMe thing, and you got them most of the money there, or whatever. I know, and you haven't taken any trips lately, so I know that. And I saw the equipment. So everybody out there who contributed, this man is.
We were able to replace what we needed to replace. I am eternally grateful to everybody that donated, everybody that just even came up and said, I'm so sorry you lost stuff. So, thank you for that. That support just means so much.
Yes.
And, I was kind of uncomfortable accepting anything, but at least we were able to bring it back much quicker than we would have.
Well, I wonder if we could do the same thing for me. This is what happened this weekend.
Did you dump your wallet on the
last
ground,
weekend,
Bob?
just before the rain started, I go this is like 2 days before all of the events of the weekend, and I'm running around like a fool, picking up this and that and whatever. I put the windshield wipers on, and there are no windshield wipers. There are these two little things, boom, going back and forth, and it's making that awful sound like hands on a blackboard. It was awful. So I said,
now you
what
have
the heck is
scratches
that?
on your window.
Oh, my gosh. And I said, what happened? What happened? So we go, I immediately, I was on my way to pick up an inflatable for the workshop, for the family workshop. And so, and then I was going to pick up Santa's helper's outfit, et cetera, et cetera. So, at any rate, so I stop in the AutoZone. That's why I have that AutoZone thing in my pocket that you get. Once a year, I go in there because something happens and I have to replace something. So okay. We go in there. It turns out somebody has taken my windshield wiper.
Who steals windshield wipers?
I don't know. One was in the car underneath the hood. And then I found the other one.
No, you didn't put them on right and they popped off.
No, one was in a snow pile in my driveway.
The car's still too new.
Yeah, one was in a snow pile, Peter, in my driveway, stuck into, like somebody ripped it off and put it in there.
That's just mean.
Isn't that? I can't figure out why anyone would do that. Am I that bad a person that somebody wants to retaliate?
There, Bob.
Is it because of me on Saturday night, because of the 20-degree weather, and they stood out there for an hour waiting for the tree to be? I made them stay out there.
You made them wait for the tree lighting.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man, that's funny.
This is an interesting thing. I was thinking actually about it this morning while I was showering, and I was thinking, how the universe takes care of you. Well, last week, what happened was that I found out that our wonderful Santa from years past, and who's Santa's helper, he is named Tony Signoli, and he's pretty well known in the area. He is a political junkie who is on the radio and television, on CNN occasionally talking, and he's the most wonderful guy. And he volunteers his time, and he's such a wonderful Santa's helper. And so his girlfriend was being operated on this weekend, and so he couldn't do it.
Ooh, okay.
And then I was thinking that, gosh, he needs always Mrs. Claus. You can't now not do Santa without having Mrs. Claus. It's really important. She's the woman behind Santa's helper.
It's a match set, Bob.
It's a match set, and you really need that. So, and Christy Roselli, who's so wonderful, and Joey, who played Tiny Tim for years until he grew out of it.
You got to be kind of tiny to play Tiny Tim.
Yeah. He's now too tall. I got to find another part for him.
So they call him Too Tall Tim now?
Too Tall Tim.
Okay.
Giant George or somebody. I don't know. But so Christy wrote me and she said, Bob, you were trying to get in touch with me, and we were in Florida or someplace, and I didn't get to, and I'm so sorry. I cannot be with you on Saturday evening. So suddenly the two featured performers sort of, oh my, yeah, that's exactly. So, all right. So then I find out that the city has a requirement that if you are doing a raffle, you need a license. Well, we've been doing raffles for years without license. I had no idea.
I'm not sure that's something you want to admit.
Well, I know. Well, it's a past crime. Let's put it that way. So I said, I got to go down and get a license.
Somebody call the sheriff.
Yeah. So this is how the universe works. I go in there, and I'm talking, and I'm there, and I'm saying, oh, I got so much work, and I'm at the city clerk's office getting this, and I was saying to the woman at the desk, they're lovely people in there, and I said, we've got the tree lighting this week, and Santa's helper. I've got a person on hold. Jerry Tomasca was going to step in if I needed to him, and so anyway, I say, geez, and then I think Karen Fanyon, she's in the other office, and I just sort of out loud, Karen Fanyon would be wonderful as Santa's helper's wife, Clara, and then from the office.
Wait, Santa's helper's wife has a name?
Well, I call her Clara. Clara Claus, her name is. Clara Claus, rather than subjunctive clause.
Idea.
Yes, yeah. Huh. So from the office comes the sound, Karen saying, "What was that? What are you talking about?" And she comes out and she said...
She hears everything, by the way.
Yeah. And she says, "I'd like to do that."
Cool.
I said, "You want to do it? Oh my God!" And so then later on in the day, so I go to Party Plus where we have Clara's outfit is there. So we go to Clara's outfit, and I pick up her Clara's husband's outfit, so we go back. I go back to deliver it. And she said, "I've been talking to my husband. He's going to help find a way of transporting me, either in a convertible or in a carriage, or maybe we'll be in a pickup truck or something special."
That was the rocking chairs in the back of the pickup truck.
That's right. She came up with that. And the reason for it was, she said, my husband, Tommy, is kind of excited about this. And he's played who for a long while. At the past Christmases, so by my going in to make me legal, to make Westfield End Weekends legal for the raffle that we were having illegally, I got Santa's helper and Clara Claus to be in the event. And not only that, I didn't have to worry about the drive, whatever. So we put them, and you saw them the other night in the event, and then we put the fire truck ahead of them, and then as a surprise, they came in at the end. So that just goes to show how the universe works, right?
Now, I'm trying to figure out, because I'm a physics guy. Mm-hmm. So a rocking chair, a set of rocking chairs in the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah. I didn't know how it was going to work. How did they fall off or anything?
You got to really trust the guy driving that pickup truck.
I
can see him stepping on the gas and that rocking chair just going top over tea kettle backwards.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, both of them are circus performers. They worked for the circus for years, and they were acrobats, so they'd be they would have gotten.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, but thank you if anyone sees or goes into the city clerk's office.
Yeah.
You can thank them. Thank it. But isn't that a wonderful idea?
There's
the way
a lot
it works.
of volunteers, and I got to again thank Westfield on Weekends for putting this on for many, many years.
Well,
And all the volunteers.
16,
it takes
as a matter of fact,
yeah,
I think. It's 16th year.
All the volunteers it takes to do this, it's a big undertaking. And not only this thing, but the Lantern Light Parade, the Lantern Light Workshop, all of the house tour things that you folks do. It really it's so much fun and adds so much to the city. It's not just Westfield on weekends. Artwork.
Oh God, they had a great pop-up show this weekend at the transit center. It's a bus station that was turned into a market, and if you missed it, you got to look for the future ones there, because they worked with the Transit Authority and Westfield Gas and Electric, and it's a charming place to put on things. Yeah,
it dressed up the place. It's been kind of, we joke about it a lot, about the spaceship downtown.
Yeah,
you do stuff like
beam me up, Scotty. We got that right in the center.
The Jetsons theme.
Yeah.
Cue the Jetsons theme.
Yeah.
But you take what they do, and you do something like that. And we have some wonderful artists around town, and it really makes it's one more thing that everybody pulls together to do that makes Westfield special.
Oh,
time for a break, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We're going to play. This is Cyndi Lauper wrote a song. We're going on a vacation. We're leaving on Christmas Day. I finally found my relatives are coming. I'm moving in. How do you like this? We have some relatives who traditionally do something special on Christmas, so they're moving into my house while we're leaving.
And this is special.
It's sort of like, it's so great. So on Christmas Day, James and I are headed off to Wisconsin. And
the people from Wisconsin are coming here.
No, they're actually from, where are they from? They're from Chicopee. They're from Chicopee, but they love our house because it's Christmas. It's a Christmas house.
It is.
It's a Christmas house. 1760. So it's an old house, and it kind of has a feel of like a Christmas holiday in a special place. So at any rate, they're moving in. So we're going to out to Wisconsin, because there's going to be a birth on December 27th or 28th.
You're giving birth, Bob.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. And the baby is, you'll notice, there it is. I got a couple of more.
Clearly Thanksgiving stuck around.
That's exactly right. No, our music director from Wisconsin and his wife, Lauren, my great nephew Christian, is they're giving birth, and it's a cesarean, I think, or something like that. Here I am giving information about somebody's birth.
HIPAA violation.
Yeah, no, but we are. We know it's either going to be the 27th or 28th. It might be the 21st, and then they'll have to name the baby Jesus. But I hope not, but because yeah. So yeah.
No, you didn't, Bob.
No. So listen. We also are going to ring the bell. My other little niece has had cancer, and she's 7 years old, and she's cancer-free now for 2 years. And so she gets to ring the bell at the Milwaukee Children's Museum.
Awesome.
And so we've got two incredible celebrations. So we're flying out. We're going to be there by noon, and we are being that wonderful family has sending a car for us, and we're going to be driving from Chicago to their house. We're going to get there. We're going to celebrate with this wonderful family filled with children that even James loves. You know how James breaks out in hives with children. I love these kids, and I can't wait. And Jeff and Carol, we're so looking forward to this. So, at any rate, I found a song called December Child by Cyndi Lauper, and it's a lovely sort of lullaby, and this is she wrote this with another person, and it's called December Child. This is that song.
Close your eyes, December child, and dream of while my little sun and moon. May the stars be snuggle up and let me hold, kiss your baby breath in the dark and cold on a silent night. Long ago, another mother held her babe and told him, close your eyes, December child, and dream a while, my little sun and moon. May the stars be your crown, and may the earth guide you round and round. They had come such a long, long way. Rest your little head on me, and I tell you about little king and his meadow hay. It is remembered every Christmas day. Little one, little son, all my life I've wished you welcome. Close your eyes, December child, and dream a while, my little sun and moon. May the stars be your crown, and may the earth guide you round and round.
Support for community programming on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. Visit bettsplumbing.com or 14 Coleman Avenue, Westfield. Public welcome.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is December 10th, 2019 and counting. And this is the Westfield on Weekend show. You want to know what's happening in Westfield on weekends? Hey, we've got courses and classes at the Westfield on Weekends storefront in downtown Springfield.
Westfield
downtown
Creative Arts, Bob.
Westfield, it's called Wow Creative Arts Center. I just mentioned Springfield. It's in Westfield. I need help. Doctor, where's there a doctor in the house? Kevin Coughlin is coming. Yeah, he's walking over here.
Bob has trouble all alone behind a microphone. He needs harassment.
He's never alone.
He needs regular harassment while he's on the air.
No, I do better when I have to talk to somebody. When I talk to myself, it's sort of like, oh, God, I just don't know. I get speechless.
Well,
I'm speechless.
So much to discuss today, you can't believe it.
Yeah,
so much.
You have Doctor. Oh, good. There's a doctor in the house, and his name is Dr. Kevin Coughlin. Yeah, from Ascent Dental Solutions.
Not a real doctor, a dentist. Okay?
You're a dentist.
Just like the Hangover. Yeah, he's not a real doctor. He's a dentist.
A dentist.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. You could heal a wound, couldn't you?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, anything more than a Band-Aid, I would say no. But if it's just a Band-Aid...
Well, in that case, I'm a doctor, too.
Yes,
We're all doctors.
We're all healers.
All of a sudden, I feel like the Three Stooges up here now. Yeah.
Really? We have this new table.
Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard, Dr.
Oh, no,
Fine.
no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no.
What? That was your coffee? Not anymore.
This is what happened.
What happened?
All right.
You have a lot of sugar.
Okay, yeah.
I missed the early part of the show.
That has another. You have a couple of sweet and lows in there more than at the beginning of the show. I took who took a sip out of this?
No, you were just
gave me the wrong
loading,
coffee
I
box.
gave
you were
Peter
just
the
loading
wrong
sugar
coffee.
into it.
And so,
Your lips were on this, Pete?
no, my lips.
Your lips. Oh, that's fine.
You're my dentist. You're always
Wait a
close
minute,
to
you're my
lips.
dentist.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
He's
think
used
I'm
to that.
okay.
But we didn't know what to do, so I said, let's pawn it off on Kevin Coughlin. And so then you come in, and we're looking over here now.
He's putting more sugar in it.
Oh,
Well,
my
for 4
God.
years, you've been bringing me a coffee every Tuesday.
Yes, you're right.
And
Yep.
it's always without sugar.
That's right.
So I decided I would just go forward. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that's right. I didn't know what you put in your coffee. As a dentist, is there anything that you don't put in your coffee?
I try to stay away from alcohol in the morning because that's a bad thing.
Right.
But why?
No Irish
Why?
coffee.
Right. No.
Why? It's
Irish
5
coffee.
o'clock somewhere.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You don't want your you don't want your dentist with a you don't want
It's not 5 o'clock for him yet.
No, it is not.
No.
And actually, to be honest with you, I very seldom drink alcohol. Very rarely. Once in a blue mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of the exceptional Irish.
Was that always when you were my
mom
student
never
back in
smoked or
Agawam?
Drank. My father wasn't a drinker. My brother never drank.
Hmm.
And once in a while, I have a couple of beers, but most of the
But
time, very
when I knew you back then in the '60s,
Oh, well, then that was a different story.
Bob, when you're a kid, you're a kid.
When you're a kid,
you're a kid.
Yeah.
He was a toddler when I knew him. Actually, you weren't a toddler.
No.
You were in high school.
Junior high.
Was it junior high?
Junior high, yeah.
That's even worse. How you so was 12 years old?
You changed my life. As a teacher, you changed my life.
You did something to him.
And I believe that's true of many teachers in my life have been.
How did I change your life, Doctor?
Well, you made it fun. You were a teacher who I think actually enjoyed what they were doing. You certainly weren't burnt out because when we met.
Oh no,
you
I
were
was.
young,
I
just getting started.
That's right.
Are you-
I think we were. I was. It was like
Do we
my
make the
first
assumption
year.
he's burned out
Which
now?
is a nice way of saying he didn't know what the hell he was doing.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
And that's what made it fun.
Yeah. You know, the kids in that class always thought that I was a marijuana smoker. What do you call it? A pothead back then? Because
We think you're that now.
Because everybody was. At
Yeah,
that
everybody
time.
was back then. Yeah.
Everybody was. And I just happened to have very small eyes and these tiny little pupils.
Are you on drugs?
And they Michael Rowe, who I had aforementioned earlier on, my company is for Canoe the Musical, was in that class. And he said to me, you know, Marty Radiswell and I, et cetera, always thought you were on drugs because you had these little slitty eyes. So maybe that's why I got along with the classes, because they thought we were all on some kind of trip.
Everybody was on something.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
right.
I think we talked about this. Mr. Rowe, Mike, is my cousin. Okay.
So look at that.
Yes.
Yeah, see
And
how
It all comes around.
It all
Michael
comes up.
was, in my opinion, one of the most talented young men in the Feeding Hills Agawam. He played the piano beautifully.
Yeah.
He lived literally in the backyard. His yard and our yard were connected. And
Do you know? I don't think you know this, but Michael Rowe, in addition to being my accompanist, he needed a place to. He wanted to move to New York because he was working on a musical at that time. So we lived together in New York City for about 6 months.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
he was my roommate on 47th Street, and my apartment mate. Let's put it that way. My apartment mate.
Terrific guy.
Yeah, and he wrote. That's why I want Michael Buster McMahon to meet him, because he wrote a musical with Dan Derby called Fabulous that actually made its tryout here at Westfield State, and it got picked up by a producer in New York City and played off Broadway on 43rd Street at this great little theater for 6 months, and that's unheard of. I mean, they kept and so that's why I'd like Buster McMahon to Michael to talk to him. So he's a really talent runs in your family, Doctor.
Well, it certainly was in his family,
Yes.
okay? We'll say that much. But Mike has two brothers I'm very close to, Brian and Scott. His mom and dad have been wonderful. They were paramount in how I was brought up.
Wow.
Many meals at their house. Their home was always open to my brother and I. Just wonderful people.
Yeah.
Super guys.
Super nice. And I had both. I had Scott, and I don't know if I had Michael Rowe. No, I had
Brian.
Michael Rowe, Scott Rowe, and what's the other brother? Brian, I think I had as well. Yeah.
I think there's probably either 4 or 5 years difference in age.
So maybe I didn't have Brian. Yeah, I did have Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got A's just because I liked them.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Did you get an A from me, Doc?
No, I did not. It's a touchy subject. I'd have to change the subject.
You didn't. I still want that paper that I asked you to write.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Maybe
waiting for
next
it.
month. Oh, yeah, I'm almost finished with
You know,
it.
you were talking about favorite teachers.
Yeah.
And, I think we all look back in elementary school, right up through high school. College, it's like, professors are a little bit, they're a little bit further away. But the teachers that, and I know, Bob, you were the favorite of everybody that went through your class.
No, that's not really
But
true.
what
I can name you some that I flunked. Talk to them.
Bob, what were you, name one of your favorite teachers growing up and why?
Oh, I can. I know exactly. Isn't this funny? Now, his name has gone out of my mind. 7th grade English at Van Sickle High School. I was probably, I had terminal acne. Okay, all over
Didn't
my
we
face.
all when we were a teenager?
Yeah. I had just gotten glasses because I couldn't see the board.
Double whammy.
Yeah.
Bad skin and bad eyes.
Bad skin, bad eyes, and I couldn't throw a baseball to save my life.
Okay.
And my wrist was a little limp at that time. Okay, so I'm not criticizing my wrist, but I'm just saying this, that somebody made a joke about look at his wrist or whatever, and since then I've had a very strong wrist because you
for
put
punching them out,
and also Scott, no, I was at during Van Sickle. Van Sickle was one of those schools that it was really bad. It had a reputation, and every lunchtime I would be challenged by somebody. Except Bobby Potter lived next door to me. He was like the head of the gang at the high school or at the junior high, so he took care of me. So I had
Don't mess with Bob.
Yeah. Even though, but it happened too often. And so, where was I going with this?
Your
I
favorite
know.
teacher.
I know. So my teacher, English teacher, who ended up becoming the head of the English department for the whole school system, he had a homework assignment, and I won a dictionary. Because he thought my work was better than anyone's in the. I don't think my work was that good, but he made me. It was the first time that anyone ever said something nice about me in front of a whole group of kids who were basically turning on me, sort of. Do you know what I'm saying? There was the pimply kid in the class with the glasses who kids made fun
All of a
of.
sudden you realize
Suddenly, I am
you-
placed at the top of the class and as having a dictionary, and I saved that dictionary. I think I still have it at home, and because it meant something to me
Positive
that my
influence.
teacher recognized something within me that
That's
was
what it
different.
is. It was the positive influence. Someone had confidence in you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Steve Martin running back home going, the new phone book is here. The new phone book is here. I'm somebody.
Well, I think
it's similar.
I think it's true for pretty much everyone. There's usually a teacher behind the scenes that has done something, and after all these years, you still remember it.
Oh, yeah.
And it shows you how important those educators are. And I'm sure Jay has it, Pete has it. I know I have several.
Yeah.
And they made a definite.
Who was there any teacher that led you to dentistry? I mean, like your science.
There was
teachers?
Mr. Joseph at Ag
Oh, I
High
remember.
School.
Yes, I remember
Okay,
him. Yeah.
And Mr. Joseph took me aside one day and asked me to take his microbiology course. He said, I see you hanging around a lot, fooling around a lot. Why don't you test yourself? So that led to me taking his class, which I liked, and I particularly liked him. And as the years went on, I still provide his care for him and his family.
No, you're kidding me.
After all these years.
He was a great-looking guy, as I remember.
And he was just, he was studious, he was polite, he gave you a little bit of freedom, but he was a disciplinarian. And Mr. Bill Jobbins was a physics teacher. He was just in my
I
office
remember him too.
this week.
You're kidding me.
He doesn't teach anymore. He does jewelry sales. He sells diamonds, coins. He actually made the wedding ring for my wife and I. And he always mentions the same story. He goes, "You weren't the smartest, but you were the hardest worker."
That's actually better in the long run.
Right. I said, any chance I could have been the smartest? And he goes, no chance. No chance. And then there were a lot of coaches, Coach Modulewski, Coach Murphy.
Were you a sports person?
Yeah, I enjoyed all athletics.
No, wait, were you a football star?
No, I was never a star at anything.
Well, but no. But what did you play? I don't picture you
actually-
with a suit on.
I actually, an interesting story to digress a little bit, but when I was in high school, a freshman, I played all sports, all church leagues, all town leagues, and I love sports. And then when I went to the high school, I went out for the basketball team. And that was a freshman, and I made the team. And at the time, there were 13 players on the team, and I was 13th. Okay, and I can distinctly remember us losing badly, and the coach looking down the bench at, oh my God, should I put him in or shouldn't I? And I remember his look like, oh, he's so bad. Should I take a chance? Now we're down by 35 points. And when that game was over, I made a decision that I would never do a team sport in my life. That was it. I walked away. I never played a team sport ever since then. I still don't play team sports, and it was a motivator for me to go into dentistry, which is basically
One guy.
You're a loner. It's one guy.
Oh my God!
You're
yes.
the captain of the ship. As I like to say, I'm the bus driver. There's one door. You're either in or you're out. You're
Yep.
going in my direction. And from that, I moved on to track and field. Another coach said, how come you're not playing? I said, I'm never going to play a sport where I can't dictate how I do. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get into the game. Now, in fairness to this guy, I probably was terrible, okay? But in my eyes, I thought I was a pretty darn good player. But it wasn't. It was a negative at the time, but it turned out to be a positive. It motivated me in a different direction to say, I'm going to do the things that I can control, and those things that I can't control, I'm going to avoid. And that's why here you either fail or succeed on your own.
Yeah.
But I always loved team sports.
Yeah.
I mean, I just enjoyed the camaraderie. I enjoyed the company. But after a difficult year, I said to myself, we're going solo.
It's interesting because I don't think people that it shows that there was something in you that sort of said, I'm not going to be defeated by this. I'm going to turn this lemon into lemonade or something.
Yeah, I said to myself, just because somebody doesn't think I'm that good, in my mind, and that's important,
yeah.
I always felt that I could do it.
Yeah.
Now, that's not necessarily accurate, but in my mind, I felt I could do it, and so far, it's helped me.
Yeah.
And I have no changes. It wasn't a malicious thing. It was just in this coach's eyes, I wasn't talented enough, and he was probably correct, but it motivated me in a different direction.
Yeah. It's interesting that I really believe that the identity of a person, your identity happens gradually, and you begin to
It's
think
formulated
of yourself
between middle school and high school, Bob.
Yeah, it really is. And then
That's the music you identify with most is middle school, high school.
and then college for some of us. I really believe that period for me that I suddenly discovered that I did have an identity that was worth it was really that first year of college when suddenly I had friends who really said to me, "You're funny," or
You have some talent.
You can,
and you should explore those areas.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
And I think everybody needs that. And then you need the support. I was fortunate that with both my parents, they were always extremely supportive. If I said I was going to do A, B, and C, they'd say, we're with you 100%.
Yeah.
When I'd say, can I have some cash to do it? Maybe not so. Okay. But
I had that same situation.
Yeah.
My mother would say, actually, when I was right after I taught at Agawam, as you may remember, I went to New York City for the first time as an actor.
You were doing soap operas, right?
Yeah. And so, but I was doing local commercials at the time, and then I got a job doing Godspell on the Cape, and then that did me in, and I wanted to go to New York City, but I couldn't afford it. So my mother comes to me and she says, "Look, I'm giving you $1,500, but I don't want you to tell your father." And so because you had to do a first month's rent, a last month's rent, and a deposit in order to even find housing in New York City.
$1,500 won't buy you a grocery bag.
No. But
it
it paid for the 2 first months.
And it showed your mother supported you.
Oh yeah, it's exactly. And my father would have, but my mother probably was afraid that she would. She didn't want my brother to know, probably, because I'm a twin, and then that would have cost her $3,000.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
We all know you were Mom's favorite.
Oh, no. Were you your mom's favorite, Jay?
I was the first, so of course I was.
Oh, how about you?
There's never been a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, see, it's that confidence.
I'm extremely confident. Yes. We just spent 15 minutes talking about confidence, and you're asking me what? Was I second or first? Absolutely first.
Now, on the other hand, that team sports thing you were talking about, they always pick the captain first, right? Because you had to pick the teams, right?
Were you the captain in your team?
No. Heck, I was last picked.
So you were like...
No wonder we got along.
Yeah, I was the guy. I was the last guy in line. Okay, nobody wanted me on that team.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
But it builds character.
Yeah, it does.
But at the time, it's hurtful.
We were, but you're right. It builds character, and you grow from it if you take that and grow from it. Before the doc came in, we were talking about things, and in the bag, the makeup things you can put.
Oh,
remember that you've all seen the commercial on television where they rub something under your eyes and then they do the time lapse for and it goes away.
Yeah.
And some reporter did that. That was their Thanksgiving party. They picked all the old people
and said, "Let's get rid of the wrinkles."
And it worked.
Oh yeah,
it worked.
Yeah, it has about a 3 to 5 hour time frame.
What is this thing called?
I believe it's from shale stone, and what it does is it tightens the pores and reduces the wrinkles and creases in your face.
How long does it last?
About 3 to 5 hours.
Okay.
The name escapes me now, but I know it's
1995,
like everything else.
No, it's really.
Yeah, 1995 special.
And they tried it.
Holidays.
Yeah.
We ought to, the next
we ought to
time
try that on
we ought to.
Well, actually, I have about $11 million invested in an aesthetic practice. So I don't know if I actually want to push this $19 cream. You're killing me here.
No. You said that only lasts 5 hours.
Yes,
what
mine
you do is a lot.
6 hours.
All right, yeah. So
Yeah.
now, Bob, when we were talking about this, you asked, "Gee, you'd think I'd look better if the lights were out?"
I was saying, look at the lighting here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we look like.
Right,
oh my
so now
gosh!
if you look over on
What
the
the
monitor,
heck
you
just
can
happened?
see
Yeah, no.
you definitely look better.
Yeah.
Bob.
And I
Peter
feel-
Coles is going
I'm more
nuts here.
confident too with the lights off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Peter, look.
Freaked me out for a minute. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Jay and I
That
were
somebody-
talking about it. That I think I need a makeover or something. I'm looking at the television camera, and I look like I need a doctor with me at every moment.
Don't we all?
So I was thinking that maybe it's this Kmart lighting that we have here in the studio.
Yeah, she wouldn't sell jewelry in here.
No,
Let
no,
me
you
tell you
wouldn't.
that much.
Could
No.
maybe we've got JP's Sound and Light.
Why do you call it Kmart lighting?
Well, because it's
Fluorescent
Kmart
light.
lighting. It's fluorescent lights.
It's
here.
not. It's
Bob.
LED.
It's LED. Could we have studio? I mean, like a
We're
studio.
energy efficient around here.
Energy efficient.
Any energy efficient.
We'd
So
rather look
here's
good
an
and
idea.
save a little energy.
I happen to have an expert sound and light person who is
Do
sitting
you really
right to
want
my
studio lighting, Bob?
I do want studio lighting.
I have.
Okay, be prepared to be blinded then.
I'll tell you
I don't
what.
care. I got to look better.
I have.
We all.
Yeah,
We all
I
have to
I
look
have
better.
a lot-
Panel
I have
lights.
a lot
But-
invested a lot of money in both sound and lighting gear.
Yes, yes.
There's nothing I could bring in here that would help. No.
How about for me, James? Still
Oh
nothing?
yeah, you're
Oh,
okay.
oh,
yeah,
I'm
we're
okay.
good.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
There must be something that
You know
I
what it
mean-
looks like is that light you have over the dentist chair.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yes, I'm used to that. Believe me.
Yeah. Peter, do you think CPC could, in the future, think of maybe doing some lights?
I have 2 massive light panels, Bob, that I could put on tripods and blast you out of the water.
Let's try it just to see. Oh, because
That's the
look
cheap
at
fix.
because this is the
Stop
only
turning
way.
off the lights, Jay.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening at home, that's what it will look like. I'm
Bob's
there
just
to-
trying to
if
make
you're
more work
listening-
for one person here.
Oh no! And look at. I'll
Yes,
tell you
yes,
what.
yes.
You're so wonderful. I would even invite you to my home for a month. You could stay with me. You know how he's never visited my house.
Now he's
never,
threatening.
never.
Yeah.
You've been to my house, have
Yes,
you? Of course.
he's anti-plas. Yeah. that's
I invited him, but he's got closer. Peter, you were invited to come in and drive in the driveway and sit with me there for a while. Right? He's shaking
That's it.
his
I
head.
quit. You try doing the show yourself.
Oh no, he's so great. But anyway, let's try that one week just to see whether we can.
All right, Bob.
yeah.
In the break, I'll come. If you ever play a stinking song, I'll come put up a panel.
Oh, this is great. Okay, so we're going to play. This is Glenn Miller's version of that great Leroy Anderson hit, Sleigh Ride. Remember that?
The song you were supposed to play at
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, this is the song I was supposed to play at 7 when we were talking about online shopping. We haven't even got to that.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. All righty. Glenn Miller, 1991.
community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning and it is December 10th, 2019. The year is slowly waning, as we say, and I am slowly waning, but I'm energized because Dr. Kevin Coughlin from Ascent Dental Solutions is sitting to my left, and we've got JPEG Luca, Trusty, Dusty, Lusty, Musty, Crusty, well-modulated sidekick, and we've got Peter
I think
Coles.
I like being lusty.
Yeah,
this
yes.
morning.
Oh, yeah,
Lusty
lusty,
this
lusty.
morning.
Well, that's in May, the lusty month of May. Here
Is that what it is?
Yes, yeah, the lusty month of May. That's
that
a
a song?
Broadway reference from Camelot. Yeah,
Ah,
but
that's why. Okay.
you are not dusty. You're crusty in the wintertime.
In the
What happened?
wintertime, crusty would
You
be
are crusty
appropriate, yes.
in the wintertime. The Duke of Dentistry is over here as
Yes.
well. Yeah.
Thank you for the invite.
There's another Duke in town. His name is Peter Coles. He's the Duke of the Dials, December's Duke of the Dials. And you know what he's doing right now?
I believe he's trying to improve the way we look on TV.
That's right. He is a lighting
God bless you.
genius,
No.
and he's going to prove to us that we shouldn't. We're gonna have television lighting in a second, rather than Kmart lighting.
This is going to mean
This
Yeah.
is going to going to prove that it can't be done.
it can't be
When
done.
you
It
when
can't
you
look-
do your podcast, Dr. Coughlin,
Yes.
do you do them from a studio? How do you do that?
Right now, I do it from my office, and the podcast company is Mr. David Wolf out of New Mexico. And
He comes up here to podcast you.
oh yeah, well, I'm special. So I do that.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Warm
this
that-
is-
warm that
Oh
up,
my
yeah.
God! No, wait a minute.
Whoa,
No,
whoa,
no.
whoa,
Look at this.
whoa.
We need a Lico or something. No, I've turned white. We've turned white.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I'm the only one that's still tanned here.
Turn
now-
on the. Okay, good. Well,
But now we're gonna
look at now. Wait a minute.
Now we're
Oh,
gonna
we're
see, but
getting
now we're
better.
shadowed in the back.
No,
Look at-
this
look
is
at the shadow.
kind of.
This isn't
Look
bad.
at our shadow. Look at it. Is that
It's a little
Tinkerbell back
bit
there?
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. But there is a certain. See the difference here. There's to our skins.
It's a softer tone.
It's a softer kind of tone.
You're looking for better texture, better tone, better results.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
right.
Scent
Now,
laser aesthetic.
are our
I
eyes?
had to throw a plug in here. I've been here for 45 minutes.
You haven't done one yet.
I was killing me. Somehow I had to put
You had to
something
put in. Yes.
Jeez.
yes.
There's
Yeah,
the
really.
businessman coming out.
Yes,
finally.
yes.
Oh,
finally.
really?
The real Kevin is here.
This is what we would look like. Peter, it's not too bad, but if we put some Licos on that and like stage lighting or something up here, wouldn't that be great?
Oh yeah.
Are these guys
makeup people would help too.
Yeah, right, makeup people.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Well, actually, Ascent
Laser aesthetics.
Laser aesthetics
On the
might
tip
help.
of your tongue, right?
Really?
And
What
Ascent
is it?
Dental Care and Ascent Dental Solutions.
Yes. Well,
Well, today I thought I was going to talk about diabetes.
Oh,
Because
really?
The American Dental Association has been pushing the dental profession to screen for diabetes. And,
Why? What is that?
Well,
What is that?
to give you an idea, there are 30 million people that have diabetes in the United States, and another 85 million that are pre-diabetic. So there's type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Type 1 is the more severe.
Right.
And type 2 is less severe. But basically, anyone over the age of 45, they're asking the dental profession to do a screening. So instead of pricking your finger, because we're dentists, when we're in the mouth, you could take the blood sample right from the gum tissue. If any of you recall getting your teeth cleaned, usually there's a little blood.
A little blood, yes.
And that little blood we can take, put in a glucose monitor, and get your A1C or your glucose level. An A1C of anything greater than 5.7 would be an indication to refer you to your primary care.
All right, so Doc, wait a minute. Let's talk about A1C. What does that mean? What the heck is that?
Basically what it is it's an average of your blood sugar over a 3-month period. And if that number is greater than 5.7, it's a pretty good indication that Mr. and Mrs. Smith would benefit from some diabetic medication or perhaps a change in diet, perhaps weight loss. Again, the distinction is in an office like ours, we typically will take a blood pressure. And that blood pressure is...
You do?
straight. Yes.
Every time I come in?
Yes. And we do.
I've never had that at the dentist at all.
Well,
ever.
I'm not
why
going
is
to
that?
say that every dentist should, but basically what you're doing is you're going to a healthcare facility, and part of that healthcare facility is to offer you a wide range of treatment options
Right.
for your overall health. I think we're going to see a significant push in every continuing education course that I'm going to. What you're seeing is money and time invested in keeping you healthy rather than treating you when you're sick.
Doc, on the way here, I heard an advertisement on, well, it was something on, I was listening to public radio, so it could not have been an advertisement, but it was about preventive dentistry or something. There was some website or something.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, this is very interesting. The concept of going to a dentist was when something bad happens, rather than going there to prevent something bad from
It's
happening.
less expensive to prevent rather than cure. It's certainly easier and much safer for your clients and patients to prevent the problem rather than to treat the problem. And two of the most common problems in the United States are diabetes and hypertension.
Yeah.
And they're non-invasive tests.
Right.
And it's a screening. I'm not there to tell you you have hypertension. I'm just simply there to say these are the results from your blood pressure. And generally, the two numbers, systolic over diastolic, give you an idea whether Mr. and Mrs. Smith are prehypertensive, hypertensive, and if they are, make the significant referral before the disease has already created problems, which means more money, lost time from work,
Right.
more difficult to treat and solve. So we're now moving towards the diabetes because, as you know, weight in the United States because of diet and lack of exercise is a significant problem. And I couldn't believe that there were close to 110 million Americans with either diabetes or pre-diabetic conditions, which is going to have an enormous impact
Right.
on healthcare costs and the quality of life.
Sure.
From a dental standpoint, many times I'll remove a tooth, I'll put in a dental implant, I'll do some periodontal or gum surgery, and I don't get the results that we want.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, my feeling is the procedures were done correctly. Why are we having complications? And generally, it's associated with prediabetes or diabetes. You don't heal as quickly, you don't repair as quickly, and the results are poor. So in the case of periodontal surgery or implant surgery, I usually will put extra time and effort to let Mr. and Mrs. Smith know there's a strong possibility of complications for the procedure because that blood sugar's off. When that blood sugar's off, you're not going to heal appropriately.
Well, you said something about that. It was a joke, actually. You said something about the dentist. A dentist, in people's minds, is a dentist, not a doctor. And that's really a cultural shift when we start to think of dentistry as being part of an overall health, preventive health
critical.
sort of stuff.
Yes.
And when you start to think of preventive dentistry, then even the insurance companies might start to say, this is all connected here.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
And there's the motivation.
Yeah.
They're seeing that there is a significant cost savings overall if I can get Mr. and Mrs. Smith on hypertension medication or diabetic treatment prior to significant damage. And most people will see a dentist more regularly than a healthcare provider. So for most of the dentists today graduating, for me, I was in the same as the medical. I mean, basically the first 2 years, the education is identical, and then one branches off with
you become a
in the-
specific
in the oral cavity, and
Yeah.
others go in different branches, whether it's psychology, psychiatry, dermatology. There are all these different branches.
I bet $1 that there are people out there, including children, probably because of their parents, who don't think of the dentist as a doctor.
Yeah.
Who don't think of it as a health thing. It's just you go, you have your teeth taken care of, and do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. And I think as you see the profession change, I think you're going to see the migration of just one healthcare. You're already seeing this in Medicare. Medicare Part D, your dental, your vision, your podiatry, it's all healthcare. And if you have one area that's unhealthy, generally your whole body is unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's rare that you see someone with perfect, beautiful teeth and they're unhealthy. In most cases, when their oral cavity is unhealthy, there are other parts that haven't even been diagnosed yet.
And sometimes that's the first place that you can see something.
It's almost always the first place.
How do you like that?
Whether it's leukemia, diabetes, usually a good clinical examination will indicate underlying medical issues. So the correct terminology is I'm a dentist and they're a physician. We're both doctors, but they're a physician and we're a dentist. But from a technical standpoint, to say you're a doctor and I'm a dentist, that's where the confusion comes in.
Yes.
And basically, if you're with a group, I would introduce you as a physician. I would introduce myself as a dentist, and we're both doctors. I'm a doctor of the oral cavity.
Sure.
They're a doctor of the skin.
Well, you're a
mind,
surgeon.
the bones,
yeah.
the organs. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the more the groups work together, the better the results and the better the healthcare.
Sure.
A day doesn't go by that I'm not consulting with a physician in some shape or form. If you're going to have a hip or a knee replaced, in almost all cases, you need dental clearance to reduce the chance of infection.
Sure.
I mean, if you have autoimmune diseases, HIV, it's critical that your dental health be maintained because Kaposi sarcoma, again, is one of the first things you see. That's what the dental profession started recognizing in the early 80s.
Right.
I mean, my whole career, I had never seen a Kaposi sarcoma. I never saw it. I read it in a book.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you're seeing this on a very regular frequency.
Yes.
And sure enough, that's one of the signs of AIDS or HIV.
Yeah.
And so the answer is healthcare and dentistry, they're all under one umbrella, in my personal opinion. And the screening for diabetes, I think the public is going to see more and more. It's non-invasive, and I'm not there to change your life. I'm just here to give you the data and say, you know, the test.
So when folks come into your dental practices, because you have a couple or 3, 4, or 5, how many?
Yes, I have 3 and in the process of 2 more.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if they come in, then is this something that you're going to add as
Yes.
part of the regular visits or whatever?
Correct. And in my opinion, this is just me, I don't think anyone likes something forced on them. So you come in as a new patient, you have your new patient orientation, which is basically explaining what you can expect for the appointment, what we're looking for, and deep down, it's a conversation. What's your chief complaint, Bob? How long has it been since you've seen a dentist? What would you like to see out of this appointment?
Right.
And then once
Color
we get through
temperature's
that, I say typically we'll take a blood pressure, we'll take it on the wrist or in the antecubital fossa, and what we're trying to do is a screening, just to give you information whether your blood pressure is a little high, a little low, or right in line.
Got it.
And the common things that we get in the office is, well, it's always going to be high, Dr. Coughlin. It's always going to be high because I'm nervous. But
Yeah.
if you really understand how blood pressure works, there's two numbers, systolic over diastolic.
Right.
And one of those
I
numbers,
never can figure it out to save my life.
yeah, well, one of the numbers, the top number,
Yeah.
can be influenced significantly by diet, stress, anxiety. But the bottom number is stable. And if that bottom number, let's just say, is over 85,
Right.
you're on your way to a mild hypertension. If it's over 90, it's a little moderate. If it's over 95, you should be checked, because that's the force of the blood 24 hours a day, 7 days a week going through the artery. The top number, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, that can be modified by a variety of elements. You have a lot to drink the night before.
Sure.
You're nervous about going to the doctors. You just had a fight with your significant other.
Right.
Those things fluctuate. So it's a screening. I'm not there to change your life. I'm just here to screen. And the same with the diabetes. The blood test indicates that you're pre-diabetic, and my job is to just inform you of that. And if
And you can get informed by just going to your dentist. I love this.
yes,
Now look at what we've got here. Wait, do you notice on television now?
I have to tell you, Pete, I'm very impressed with the way I'm looking right now. Okay.
You're looking really
Bob,
great.
I don't think
it's
it looks.
still-
I think it actually looks worse. It's less even now because I don't have a zillion lights, and I don't.
Yeah, no.
The reason we have the LED lights, Bob, is I don't have enough ceiling for a light grid to do that properly.
oh,
You see, most
oh.
TV studios have a 20-foot ceiling that can hang about 3 dozen lights. I don't have that space in here.
Do you think that underneath these panels you could raise it up a
No,
bit?
Bob. There's not enough room up there. We've already looked at that.
Oh, no, that's even worse.
This is as good as it gets.
This
Bob.
is as good as well. Dude, what do you think?
I like the light panels better.
thickly, Bob.
Yeah, I do. Look, okay, so you like the light panels
Yes,
from
the one on the ceiling because it's more even light throughout the room.
What if we did we had some lamps in here, and on the
Can
side?
I say no, Bob?
No. Oh, all right. Just a suggestion. I'm from a.
No, he shot that down. I
He shot that-
sensed
You
that
heard
tone.
that he shot
yeah,
it down.
the tone.
That was a tone. Yeah.
It was
yeah.
a non-starter, Bob.
That was a non-starter. All right.
See, that's a whole different. That's a whole different doctor's point of view. You see, it's the tone. That's the psychiatrist talking.
That's right.
I'm
yeah.
trying to patch things up.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Somebody
And
has
you know
somebody
what?
has to
How
How
bring
about
this
this?
back on the rails.
I have a far easier way to do this.
Yes. There we are. That's exactly right. Hey, Peter, I think you're absolutely right. You know what?
You've blown through so many breaks now, Bob. What are we playing?
Oh my God! Look at 74. Well, I got to play this song. I saw this on YouTube last week. Kelly Clarkson. There's a beautiful movie out now about Mr. Rogers. Have you?
I haven't seen it, but Tom Hanks is the
Tom
lead.
Hanks is, yeah. And somehow or other, he gets nominated for a Golden Globes as a supporting actor. Now, tell me how the Golden Globes can give Tom Hanks in a movie about Mr. Rogers a supporting actor nomination.
Because Mr. Rogers is the star.
Right, but he's not in the movie.
No.
His character and his calm
Yeah,
attitude.
yes. Oh, my gosh.
Now, you want to get to the abstract.
Yeah.
See, you're looking at this from a whole different level. You see, Mr. Fred Rogers is overseeing the movie.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so Kelly Clarkson did a version of It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. You got to see it on YouTube. She's got a man behind her who's doing a dance that's so reminiscent and loving tribute to Mr. Rogers. So you've got to hear this song. It's just so lovely. And, I played it at the workshop for the kids making lanterns last week because we were doing, and thank you, Peter, we did a soundtrack. Peter was there for 4 hours playing great music all along. I did a soundtrack, and then you added to it because I realized that it's a 4-hour. I only had 2 hours or something of music, or
Not even, Bob.
not even. So, but this was one of the songs I decided this is a great holiday song. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Let's hear it.
That's Kelly Clarkson.
She's on The Voice.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please, won't you please, please won't you be my neighbor? Give it up for my band, y'all. Give it up for Mason dancing back there.
Support for the community programming of
I will not
WSKB is provided by the Barnes and Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com. Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow.
That's what happens when Bob doesn't pay attention.
Wow. Well, we were talking about the lighting. If you're watching on Channel 15 in Southwick or Westfield, the lighting was an attempt to prove to me that there's nothing we can do here in the studio to make me look better. I've got to go to Ascent Dental Solutions or Aesthetic Solutions. What is it?
Jay, if he gets this wrong one more time, there's going to be a word.
I'll go out and get the big stick.
Okay. For those listeners.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. We have Ascent Laser Aesthetics.
That's it. I knew if I got feeling.
It's a focus
Yeah.
on non-surgical improvement of your entire body.
Well, that's what a laser is. It's a focus.
It's a focus. That's where the link comes in.
That's right.
That's where the link comes in.
And then there's Ascent Dental Solutions, which is an educational business, teaching other dentists and healthcare providers to make their life a little more profitable, a little less stressful, and a little better. For example, Delta Dental right now.
Delta Dental.
Delta Dental.
Delta Dental. What's that flower you got on?
Don't sing.
The entire
Yep.
dental profession is suing Delta Dental. We've
What is
been
that?
in court for 2 years, and that's because for healthcare providers today, not that the listeners feel sorry for healthcare providers.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for pity, but it's very difficult today for men and women getting into the healthcare to survive. And the reason for it is the insurance companies are dictating your fees. And the question is how do they dictate these fees?
Yes, how do they?
What business model are they using?
Certainly not the dentists.
Exactly. So the point is there's probably perhaps some overcharging in the healthcare, and there's perhaps some overcharging in the insurance. And until both parties can get on the same page, the patients suffer. For example, if I want to use nitrous oxide or laughing gas on you, and the insurance company reimburses me $14, and it costs me $40. How can you operate under those circumstances?
Can't stay in business too long.
So you have to cheat and cut corners to provide a level of care. Now, as a patient, I don't think that patient or client really understands that. When you come in for a consultation and your insurance company reimburses us $26.50, how can you spend an hour and explain the risks, the benefits, the alternatives, and the options? And hence, the way you game the system is you try to see more patients under less time. So if I'm getting $26, the simplistic way is, well, I'll see 26 patients. And those patients go, boy, the service and care was lousy. I didn't get my questions answered. I felt like I was rushed. And the reason behind it is it's impossible for me to spend an hour telling you what your problems are when your insurance company said that the only fee that I can charge is $26.50.
Then am I better as a patient to just walk in and say, here's $500, fix me?
I don't think that would benefit you because dentists and healthcare providers are just like everyone else. In my opinion, there's got to be a combination of both because in fairness to the insurance company and the patients, you're making decisions on things you don't fully understand. And for you to just bring in money, I think you're opening up a chance to be misled, mistreated, overtreated, or treated improperly. That's my personal opinion.
But when I walk in to a doctor or the guy that fixes my car or the guy that fixes my computer, well, I'm paying something special or a little extra because he has the expertise, or I'm expecting him to tell me the right information. Now, if I've got to shop around to 2 or 3 different shops, for that car fix or fix my tooth, well, now I'm taking other people's time that may not get reimbursed. I'm just looking for,
Correct.
information.
The second opinion, third opinion. But the way the insurance market is working today is whether you go to me, Dr. Jones, Dr. Smith, we all have to charge you the same amount. So the price shopping really is moving out of healthcare. For example, if you have Delta Dental or Cigna or Aetna or MetLife, the list goes on and on and on. They have a fee schedule. So long as you're in network, I have to charge you the same fee that everyone is. So where that becomes difficult is using the analogy of having your car fixed. Well, you need the oil changed, and it's X amount of dollars. The next person needs the oil changed, but we have to take the chassis out. We've got to lift the engine out because there's a leak in a gasket. Well, the insurance company just considers that an oil change. One took 15 minutes, the other could take 3.5 hours. But the reimbursement is the same. So if the reimbursement is the same, there's a strong possibility we're going to rush that 3.5 hour, change the gasket, and you're going to drive and say, how come my car's still leaking? And I'm going, if you really understood as a patient, as a consumer, you'd be saying to yourself, this isn't right.
Yeah.
This can't be right.
So
now you try to break away. you try to do something like Ascent Dental Care and say, I'm above the fray. You can't, because you're mandated by law to charge that fee. So the only way away from it is say, I'm not going to take a Delta Dental, I'm not going to take a Cigna, I'm not going to take a MetLife. And the average consumer or patient goes to their website and says to themselves, well, Dr. Coughlin's on my insurance, I'll go to him. Dr. Jones isn't, I'm not going to go to him because it's going to cost me more out of pocket. I think the more the consumer or patient actually understands the dynamics of the fee schedules, and it's so arbitrary. For example, in Long Meadow, that zip code sometimes will give a higher fee than the zip code in East Long Meadow. Why is that? Because the average income is higher in Long Meadow than in East Long Meadow, so they reimburse the doctor slightly more in Long Meadow. It has nothing to do with cost, nothing to do with quality of care, nothing to do with anything. It's just bizarre.
Yeah. So is this a class action suit that is happening with dentists?
You have two big suits that I thought we might be interested to. One was Smile Direct, which you mentioned in your notes. That's an orthodontic system where people can go to a kiosk and they can receive these aligners and straighten their teeth. And the dental profession is saying, who's the dentist overseeing this?
Yes. Yeah.
Who's the dentist?
Well, yeah. Who do you in the consumer side of it? Who do I go see when it doesn't work?
Correct. So it's almost comical, but the way you get around it is you say that it's cosmetic. When you say it's cosmetic,
they're not going to pay for it.
The rules change. It's not necessarily health care. So the dental profession is saying moving teeth, changing the position of bone, tissue, hard and soft, that is a medical procedure. Although most people choose orthodontics for cosmetic reasons, if you move teeth in an inappropriate way, you cause damage to the temporomandibular joint, to the periodontium, which is the bone and tissue that support the teeth. So at this point, Smile Direct is suing the American Dental Association. The American Dental Association is saying this is false advertising. If you think of it, how do you move teeth? You can only move teeth if there's space. Most movement of teeth are because we have too much crowding. There's not enough space. So the only way you can create space is extract teeth, slenderize, which means make the teeth smaller, or procline, expand teeth. All of those are medical procedures.
Oh, yeah.
And you're asking yourself, when the patient walks in and has crowding, how do they accomplish those goals without a dentist?
At least to start.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
If I've got to go from A to F, there's a whole lot of steps in between.
And I'm not
gonna
bad-mouthing Smile Direct.
Yeah.
For me personally, I have patients who choose it because they say, geez, it's less expensive. And my answer to them is, how do you know it's less expensive? Well, it's only $89 a month. I go, but if they keep you in the appliances for 3 years, you're actually paying more.
And
in other words,
yeah.
it's not. You got to look at the total cost of the procedure, not the $89 a month.
And you're not being seen. You're just doing it on your own. It just
So I'm not personally someone that badmouths Smile Direct or any of these. I get the business component of it, but as a consumer, hopefully listening to public radio, public TV, information. My job is to give information so that that consumer can ask the question when they walk into Smile Direct. Well, if I have crowding, how are you going to uncrowd my teeth?
Yeah, how do you know when you're
Where's
done?
the space coming?
It's like
who's doing that?
Yeah,
how do you make room? Is it magic?
There, yeah.
Really?
And common sense, I think, when you become educated and don't listen to the sales or hype, I think the consumer will make the correct judgment. But those are two big things going on in the dental profession. Actually, three. One, the screening for diabetes.
Right.
Two, the litigation between Smile Direct, which is a kiosk orthodontic treatment.
Right. When do you think that's going to come down?
Well, once it goes into the courts, God only knows.
Yes.
I mean,
and there's
There's
another
another
one.
thing that
That's what's the
seems to-
third one? Dental
Delta.
Delta Dental.
Delta Dental and the dental profession have been at odds because what the entire insurance is doing is they're really controlling healthcare. They've always done it, but now they've even gone beyond what was considered unbelievable.
Sure.
To now it's just.
Look
I
at
haven't. I haven't
look at the
changed-
merger of Cigna and CVS.
Right. I haven't changed my fees in 6 years
Yeah.
because they're virtually meaningless. I could charge you $10,000, and when you come in with your Delta Dental, I can only charge you $26.50. That's the fee.
Oh my God, help me.
And the consumer, I don't think, is equating. I think deep down, if they think about it, it makes sense to most people. But in the end, most people say, well, if it only costs me $5 here and it's going to cost me $40 there, I'm going to the $5.
Right.
And they don't actually.
So when we read about these lawsuits or hear about the litigation, let's realize that it's really to our benefit that our dentists are taking action, and in the long run. But hey, doctor, it's 7:57. We've talked a blue streak this morning. We're looking good, even though we still haven't figured out how to light ourselves.
No, Bob, we know how to do it.
Oh yes,
I know
I'm
how
pretty
to.
lit myself.
yeah.
I know how to do it. It's just the constraints of the space.
I understand. Well, thank you, Peter, for trying and proving that there's nothing that will help me to look better.
yes,
wait a
there
minute.
is. You're killing me again.
Oh, there we are. I'm going to go to Ascent
Okay,
Dental.
jeez.
No, I'm going to go to Laser Aesthetics.
Keep trying.
Ascent Laser Aesthetics.
Yes.
Right. .com
.com
or AscentDentalSolutions.com.
or AscentDentalCare.com.
There you are.
Next time the listeners see me and hear me, I'm just going to get rid of all the businesses and just go see Kevin. Okay, keep it simple. Go see Kevin.
Go say.
Hey,
listen.
thanks a lot. I had a
Merry
great time.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2020.
You bet.
And everybody, I'm going to play dueling. This is dueling Jingle Bells. Yeah.
What?
Yes, dueling Jingle Bells
Oh, yeah,
from
there it is.
yes, the Navy U.S. Navy Band. All right, Peter, are you all set for that?
Yes.
Listen, everybody, get out there and volunteer. I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening, and I'm going to be on the other side on Ken's Den. Thanks.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We appreciate it a great deal. Now, some of you like listening to your Christmas music with a little bit of guitar. Then there's this whole other group of people that likes listening to their Christmas music with a little bit of banjo. Oh, yeah. I found you, all right? We know where you are. So, we're going to let these guys fight it out up here and see which one of those instruments win, all right? So here we go. Wow.
Support for community programming on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. Visit bettsplumbing.com or 14 Coleman Avenue, Westfield. Public welcome.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.com.